Chair recognizes my friend, Ms. Tlaib.
He says that, but then he cuts me off. Thank you all for coming here. I think it's really important. And, you know, Reverend, I can tell that you care deeply about your community, and it takes courage to come before this committee, especially when you hear so much, to me, just misinformation, also embedded in racist tropes about your community. And so I wanted to ask you, you know, I think a lot of Americans, when you think about it, what compelled you to speak out and join hundreds of other faith leaders at the St. Paul airport to protest against the violent ICE occupation of your community?
Thank you for the question. Yes, I am here just as I was that day at the airport, because I am representative of so many Minnesotans who are actively engaged in the work of neighboring. And I'm also here, as I was that day, because there are so many Minnesotans for whom it is not safe to speak out today.
And I'll tell you, you know, we're learning a lot. I think the whole country is learning a lot from all of you and your neighboring and showing love and showing up for your community. And I know it took a lot of courage for even some of the elected officials to stand up and say, you know, not on our watch. You know, we talk about the fearlessness that is needed sometimes to fight for our rights. And some people will continue to gaslight folks and call us domestic terrorists, to surveil us more, to try to bully us and intimidate us to silence. And I just want the Minnesota people to know, I know my district sees you all, and we say continue it. You are freeing all of us when you continue to speak up, and you're protecting all of us as well. In response to, of course, the powerful local resistance, you know, one of the things they keep saying is it's ended, it's done. You heard my colleague from Boston, Congresswoman Ayanna Pressley, talk about trauma. It's not done. There needs to be a lot of healing, and I don't think they want to fund that or support that. But I'm asking, just as myself and many of us in my district are wondering, is it truthful? Are they done?
Unfortunately, it's not over. As we heard, there are still 650 ICE agents in Minnesota. That means there is still fear and trauma for our children and for our immigrant and refugee neighbors. And as Ms. Priestley named, the trauma will go on, and we have much work to do in healing and caring for, especially those who've been most victimized in this.
So I want to talk about intention. What's the intent of this hearing? What's the intent of all of it? I think intention is important because, you know, for the chairman, if I can submit for the record, article titled "Fraud Focus: Why is Trump Granting Clemency to Convicted Fraudsters?"
Without objection to ordered.
Because I see this, and even though you're here, you have nothing to hide. These folks are not here. I don't get to question them. I don't get to say to the guy that committed $200 million Medicare fraud who just got pardoned by Trump. I don't get to ask Jared Kushner, you know, why is your dad go from, literally in France, the title of the article is Prison to Paris. Literally from committing fraud, he pardons his son-in-law's father, and now he's an ambassador. You see all that happening, it's like, well, what's the intention here? They're creating a world's largest paramilitary under the direct control of the president, who has made it clear that he intends to crush dissent, target entire cities, and rig elections. He literally is telling us he's going to send ICE agents out on election day to intimidate and target our community. He's not lying. He's going to do it. And I think we need to be very, very much prepared. At the same time, intention. Governor, I seen him in this administration funding freeze, and blaming all of these people. Like, I hope people don't blame my community for everything Trump's doing. Do you know what I mean? Like, I mean, can you imagine right now the impact that is happening? What impact is it going to really have right now? I mean, you're talking about today, this is cut off, and he's refusing to let go of the money that, again, Minnesota actually is supposed to rightfully get appropriated.
400,000 children lose health care, pregnant women, and elderly and rural hospitals will be severely impacted and potentially close.
It's hard because I wonder if they would do that in Kentucky where they have fraud. in Tennessee where they have fraud.
Their own numbers show that our error rate is 2.1%. The national average is 6%.
Oh, I know. You guys testified about it. Attorney General, even though, you gave everybody else 30 seconds, I need to ask you, I mean, you're here today. What could you be doing right now? You're Attorney General. You do what today if you were at work instead of here? To be honest, I mean, can you explain what's back home that you have work to do at home? Like, what can you be doing instead?
Microphone, please.
Have is a Medicaid fraud bill that I'm trying to get passed to
The
increase
legislature is in session.
the legislature is in session, and I'm supposed to meet with House caucus leaders tonight, hoping to make that so that we can do more to stop fraud.
Yeah.
So that's one thing I could be doing among 20 others.
Well, I'll tell you, I'm always reminded, and please bear with me, Chairman Cromer, our amazing, former chair, Elijah Cummings. First hearing I ever had as a freshman was on the high cost of prescription drugs. It was incredible, it was powerful, it was real, and the intent there was, let's make sure people that get sick are taken care of. I'm just so tired of these hearings that are just politicized in a way that is not consistent, because if he's doing this, why are you targeting innocent people? Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Tlaib.